everyone.
Hello. Oh my goodness. We are in season 2. Bam! Oh my goodness. We have been just really going in, and I feel like season 2 is going to be impactful, and there's just so much information that we're going to just talk about, and we're going to like dive into. We do love the feedback that we're getting. We're getting some amazing stuff.
And so heartwarming.
Yes, exactly. I just want to just really shout out real quick. You want to say what's up? You know, keep it a little Jersey.
We're still getting comments about our Jersey and New York accents.
Yes,
which we love. Which we
Manhattan.
love. Yeah,
yeah. You know, coffee. But you know, I think that we've been just getting such great feedback. I think some of the things that one thing that stood out to me was, people were asking for resources. And I do think that we have resources. You'll probably see this. There'll be some resources prior to this coming out. But, some people, we're going to link some people, interview with some people, but also with your feedback, if you kind of tell us like, hey, listen, we're looking for something X, Y, and Z, we can also help with that.
Yeah.
I feel like
season 2 is going to have way more guests and things that will kind of be more supportive in terms of resources. Yeah, for sure. And to speak about the wonderful feedback that we've been getting.
Yes.
So what's also good about going into season 2 is we've kind of got some traction now, right?
Yes.
Like especially on our social media pages, It's like we're brand new, right?
Yes.
We start with like 2 followers.
And I also feel like we were also like stiff. And we're like militant. And I think like now, like some of the stuff that's coming out that you guys are seeing is like, you're seeing more of our personality, and like we're like goofballs.
Yeah, now you can get to know us a little bit. I know sometimes we go through the clips and we're like cracking up about something silly, and then it's just like what this podcast is based around, right? It's kind of like you're like, okay, I'm allowed to like laugh while I'm breathing.
Yeah.
But I went on on our TikTok account the other day, and this woman here said, wow, how ironic I run into your channel while my sister and I are grieving our little sister. It's truly heartbreaking going through these stages. Thank you all. Thank you for creating this podcast for people like us, in big letters. The podcast we didn't know we needed. And I screenshot
like I have like my hair stood up.
I was like about to cry because this is like the whole purpose of this is to find the people who need it. Right.
And just like the community, because like I just feel like just building a community, and it's not like, oh, we're all coming together collectively to like how they say like breed like energy, like it's all like crying and negative energy. No, we're just really trying to balance grief and joy, right? And I just think that that's just the most important part of it.
And I just think it's about like being seen.
Yes.
Like another creator had said, like the best gift that you can give someone who's grieving is to show them that they're seen, because our grief outlasts everybody's sympathy.
Right.
So it's like when your sympathy runs out and we're still grieving, it is a very lonely place. It's
invisible.
It does.
We're invisible.
Yeah, I definitely feel invisible sometimes because, well, one, in a way you have to.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm not going to meet every single client and say, oh yeah, I just cried in the bathroom over my sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you kind of have to be invisible in your grief.
Sure.
But you do become invisible to people who know and.
And you said it perfectly. I feel like once the sympathy runs out, right? It's like, who do you really have in your corner? Who's there for you? Again, right? Like yours is very, very new, right? Like Sean has passed already 6 years where, his birthday is coming up. And I just feel that sometimes, people forget about that, right? Like, and it's like everybody's moving on with their lives. As you should, right? Like we're not saying that you shouldn't.
Life goes on.
Life goes on, but we're the ones that are with this pain that it's like, okay, well, we know this specific memory. This is a specific date. This is, so, if you didn't get a chance to see like our triggers episode or even like how we celebrate death/anniversary/ birthdays, I think that we put some really good information out there too.
Yeah. I found myself reverting back to that this past week. As you know, the like tombstones, they call the monuments in the veteran cemetery,
Mm.
that was just placed a couple days ago.
Mm.
And it's like, I feel like, I mean, of course, like weeks feel like months, right? Months
Yeah.
feel like years.
Yep.
So even though it's only been 5 months,
Right.
it was like everything was brand new this week, because for the
Mm-hmm.
first time I saw my sister and my brother-in-law's names like
Yeah. Like
on that.
this is for real.
Like,
This
whoa,
is
this is
this
so
is
for real.
real.
Because I've been visiting a grave and putting flowers, and it's just dirt and grass.
Right.
And it was almost like didn't feel real in a
Yeah.
way. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I know she's there, but she's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing like these plaques, I was just like,
Oh no, it's like a slap in the face.
yeah, I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. But you know, one of the things that we talked about in our triggers episode was like hold space for what's going. If you can grieve right then and there, then go ahead
Yes.
and do it.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I feel very proud of myself that I left work.
Yeah. Good
Like
for you.
I was like, I have to go be with my mom.
Yes.
And then me and my cousin drove down and visited we grabbed flowers, we went to the
Sure.
cemetery. I sat there with her, I cried, I left her flowers, I
Yeah.
prayed, I got in the car, and it was just like grieving right then and there. For my
Right.
mom, she wanted to kind of wait a little while. Like everybody kind of does something different.
Their own thing.
But I
yeah.
was just really glad that I didn't force myself to work, to pick up the phone, to go on tours.
Yep.
Like everybody has my phone number. I'm out. Like anybody
Right.
needs me.
It's not that
just-
serious.
Yeah. Just so that in the moment I can feel like.
And it's like you don't get that moment back, right? Like so
Right.
it's like it comes into like that work-life balance. It's like, like for example, like your kids' graduation, right? It's like
Right.
certain things that you just don't get that back. And sure that this is more of a somber thing.
Yeah.
But this is also I don't like the word closure, but it's
Yeah.
just like it's like that solidity that
Yeah.
it's
But
this is-
even seeing like the tombstone and there's like no flowers,
Right,
right? Because they
right.
like threw out what flowers was there to like
Yeah.
put the concrete and lay everything down. So I was just like, I gotta go put like nice flowers there.
Like,
Like I gotta go
immediately.
make it look pretty. I gotta go
Yes.
make it look pretty, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So that's how I felt. Like if I can go there and put some flowers, like I'll feel like it looks nice and I've honored her in the way, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I know.
yeah.
I know. I got your voice note, and then she's crying on the voice note, and now I'm driving with
she's
my kid. Now I'm crying with my kids in the car, and she's like, "Mama, new park," and I'm like, "Wait."
Right,
I was
right,
like, "You
right.
weren't supposed to trigger me," and I'm like,
Yeah.
like. Again, you kind of already, if you've already seen a lot of these episodes, you know that we're childhood friends.
Yeah.
And, everything, this became full circle. And I also feel that, I'm the type of person, I am the queen of compartmentalizing and disassociation very fast. But I feel like she's going to make me feel my feels. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to. Like,
Right.
I'm good. But then, like, she just caught me. Like, it was
Yeah.
but it also brought up for me when, for Sean, what happened is that the niche wasn't ready. They were building a new wall. So he was literally sitting in a box for a year. And to the date of February 9th, literally to the date, we like paid like a pastor to come over to kind of like pray over it,
Yeah.
like because he's just been sitting in a box. And that's when we were able to put everything in, like make it look nice, and a whole
Right.
year. So
Oh,
we had
wow.
nowhere to literally like kind of
Wow.
grieve him, right? Like I said, like we have that picture and then I have the chain with his ashes on it.
Right.
And I would just like burn a candle. They say burn the white candle so
Yeah.
it can light the way for him to make sure that he gets where he needs to go. I don't know where I got that from.
Wow, that would have been that's tough to wait
Yeah.
a whole year to
a
have this sort of
whole
like
year. Just to even have like just
it's just
something.
the closure of the burial process. It's like the
That's it.
ending, like like
Yes.
the full circle.
Yes. And then it's like, so we had to wait. Then that was like another issue, and then you have to get the paperwork to get the plot. And it was just very messy. But
Yeah.
thankfully, like we were able to kind of get him in there.
Yeah.
It was just easy peasy. I had the urn ready. I had everything, Stardust Memorial. Shout you out again. But yeah, so I totally, when you had called me and then you sent me the picture, I was just like, oh my God, I'm reliving this again.
Right, right.
And not in a bad way, right?
And that just shows you like no matter how far you feel you are in your
Yep.
grief,
Yep.
like it was a new thing for me.
Yep.
It was like, I feel like I'm good in my grief journey and we have this outlet and we're doing all of this. And then it was like, whoa,
Yeah.
I was not prepared for this, but nothing could prepare you for
Nope.
this. Nothing could prepare for you
No.
to see
Nope.
a name of somebody you love on a
Absolutely.
tombstone, you know?
Yep.
So it was just like, wow, this is another part of the journey that I have to like learn
Right.
how to live through,
Yeah,
you
because you're going to
know?
get those triggers again.
Absolutely.
And it's going to keep coming up.
Yeah.
And, obviously we're kind of talking about, things in real time. Obviously, when you see this, it's going to be probably a couple of, maybe like a month.
Months, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of
Yeah.
months down the
Yeah.
line. But, some of the stuff that we're going to talk about, like we're really going to touch on like some hard stuff, like fertility, losing a child,
Yeah.
vicarious grief, like living through somebody else's grief and taking on this heaviness. We have
Right.
guests, we have talking about religious stuff. Like, how about like New Orleans does like a big celebration of death? Like they
Right.
have a whole drum line, like, then you have like the Day of the Dead for
Yeah.
Mexican culture. So
Right.
we're really gonna dive deep into this, and I think like these episodes are really gonna kind of kick up some great feedback from everyone.
Yeah.
Obviously we love the text messages. We love just try to put those messages too on like the forums so that we can start communicate and seeing other people to join in.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't have, I mean, everybody has YouTube in a way.
Yeah.
Like maybe you don't have a YouTube account, but yeah, it's like
YouTube's free.
But even like Spotify,
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts,
Yep.
like we're on all that stuff. And like putting all of your feedback on there just helps boost the algorithm, and it's getting the content out to the people who really need it. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole point of this,
Yeah.
We can blast our stuff out as much as possible.
Right.
But other people liking, following, subscribing,
Sure.
sharing.
Yeah.
Which I have seen a little bit of that lately. I
Sure.
have seen like us getting tagged in posts like, hey, I
Yes.
think the Grieving Sisters might be helpful for you.
Yes.
I've definitely seen people that I know share it with their own therapists.
Yes,
I've shared with clients. My clients have shared with family members.
It's even on LinkedIn. So now I feel like I have to make a post about it for LinkedIn. Like we
Right.
made it to LinkedIn, you know. I have Roseanne, we interviewed her. You've seen like clips, or you will see clips, right?
At this point,
At this point, you've already seen some clips, some great information, some great wisdom that she had given us. From losing her brother and her father. And I feel like we have just been really focusing on really helping people and
Right.
just really just creating this space for them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been so fulfilling.
Yes.
It's really kept me going because, I mean, again, this is all very new for me.
Yeah.
And I feel people are like, how are you like coping? And I think a lot of it is this podcast. A lot of it is being able to like just speak so freely and feel so seen here,
And then like there's a lot of things like on social media that I've seen. I watched it's not like, it was like an Instagram live, and it was about grief and resilience. And it was
Right.
very beautiful. And, she was very thankful for like me checking in. I made sure to do it through the Instagram account, the Grieving Sisters. And it was phenomenal. Not only that, I felt that some of the stuff that they were saying, it's like we either covered it or we're going to cover it. So
Right.
it just also solidified, right? Because, I do therapy, like that's like what I do as my career, but I tried to kind of interweave some stuff in without making it so like therapy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
don't want to.
Without making this like a session.
Correct. Right. And I just feel like, just tapping into some stuff. David Kessler has a lot of things on his page. He's actually doing a Mother's Day one, which this will already have passed, but I'm sure that you can like look it up. You did post that one that he posted about the siblings, and I thought
Right.
that was phenomenal.
Where it's like sibling loss is one of the few losses, or the only loss rather, where
Right.
people will say, "Oh, were you close?"
Right. Does that even matter?
Because you say my mom passed, my dad passed, everyone has this like they've created this space for giving you empathy and being
Right.
compassionate. But
Right.
when it's a sibling,
Right.
it's like, "Oh, were you guys close?"
And it's like, why does it even matter?
It's like so that you're asking that question so that you can gauge how much sympathy you're supposed to have
Yeah,
for me.
it's so
Where
bizarre.
It's like, just have the sympathy
That's
for me.
it.
Just
That's it.
Right.
And then like you had talked about, we had talked about a little bit of the grief hangover.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
you posted
goodness.
that. It was like grief hangovers happen when we've processed something big. Your brain and your body need time to recalibrate. Oh my
Yes.
God, so
Yes.
true.
Yes.
And it says, remember that this is not a setback. It's proof that you're moving through the hard stuff and that you're
Hmm.
coping with it, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment.
Right. Exactly.
Because it's true. It is exhausting,
Even the brain, the fog. I think the fog is really what really does it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, even the fog, it's like you got that fog, then you have the motherhood fog, and then like it's really like it's exhausting, right? Because it's like you're trying to physically navigate life, right? But you can't because you're just stuck in this like traumatic episode.
Right.
And it just doesn't like you can't get out. It's like a
Yeah.
dream that you can't wake up from.
Yeah.
Like the paralysis
I
dreams.
feel like I haven't had a lot of nightmares, but
Mm,
like when I have really tough days, I
sure.
do feel like my emotions are kind of like running haywire.
Yeah.
And then I'll start to have just very weird dreams, like
Right,
very
right.
weird dreams.
Always write them down.
And then, you always wake up and you're like trying to put it all together, trying
Right.
to like look for a
Nope,
sign.
you have to write it down. So
Yeah.
that was, and then we'll get into dreams and signs. I have I have the craziest one for you about my brother that told me about my aunt that had passed on my mom's birthday.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a crazy story, but I'll save that for, one of our episodes. But he said in one of my dreams, he was like, continue to write your dreams down.
Oh, wow.
So I have like on my phone, I have it in a notebook somewhere. I just started to write it on my phone. Like I was just like, you know what? There's no way that I'm going to be able to turn on the light on to wake up my husband. Now to wake up my kid,
Right.
to write down. Like I'd rather just write it in my notes and I have it
Yeah.
like accessible. Like, wait a minute, I just dreamt about that.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, but I can't wait to get to that episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
But come on now. Now we have season 2. 12 episodes we got lined up for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're looking forward to hearing back from you guys.
Oh my God, we're so excited for the second season.
And just grateful.
And just like learning more
Yeah.
about this because, grief is something that is done through a community,
Correct.
and it's
Yeah.
like you guys being our community here is
Yeah.
just, it's like we did this for other people, but then
Right.
in turn, we're getting back so much support and so much
Right.
community. It's
Yeah.
really such a beautiful thing.
It is. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
oh, my
thank you.
goodness. Let's kick this off. Bam. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and on TikTok, The
Yep.
Grieving Sisters.
Like,
and
comment, subscribe.
that's it. YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Put those 5 stars and leave a comment. And we'll see you soon.